What if the greatest limitation in your life isn't your background, your bank account, or your current circumstances, but your ability to see, not just with your eyes, but with something deeper, your inner vision? Every invention, every movement, every legacy we admire began with someone who dared to see something others couldn't. Vision isn't just a nice idea or a hopeful thought. It's the difference between drifting through life and driving toward destiny. Think about it. How many people do you know who are incredibly busy, always on the move, yet going nowhere? They wake up, go through the motions, meet expectations, but there's no fire, no focus, no future in view. They are living by reaction instead of direction. The truth is, if you can't see beyond your present, you'll remain stuck in it. You'll mistake routine for purpose and comfort for calling. You'll settle into survival, never tapping into the life you were meant to lead. But vision changes everything. It pulls you forward when life pushes you down. It gives you something to chase when others are content to coast. When you carry a vision inside of you, real, vivid, burning, it shifts the way you talk, plan, and choose. Suddenly, time becomes precious, distractions feel dangerous, and excuses sound empty. That's the power of seeing beyond now. You stop asking what's happening to me and start declaring this is preparing me. You were never designed to be limited by what you see. There's something greater calling you, something not yet visible, but very real. It's time to stop letting the present define your potential. There is more ahead of you than behind you. But you must first dare to see it. Because what you see determines how far you go. There is a force more powerful than talent, more enduring than motivation, and more essential than opportunity. It is the unseen engine behind every breakthrough, every bold step, and every life that leaves a mark. That force is vision, not eyesight. Vision. The ability to see beyond what is into what could be, the capacity to look past the chaos of now and fix your focus on a future worth pursuing. Vision is not a luxury for the gifted few. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to live with meaning. In today's world, it's easy to become consumed with what's in front of us. The noise of everyday demands, the distractions of social media, the pressure to survive or succeed in the moment. They all tempt us to live reactively. We spend our time managing the immediate instead of designing the future. We chase comfort instead of calling. And slowly, without even realizing it, we lose the clarity that once stirred our hearts and gave us direction. But vision cuts through the fog. It rises above the urgency of now and reveals the purpose of tomorrow. It reminds you that your current location is not your final destination. Vision lifts your head when life tries to bow it. It whispers possibility in the middle of pressure. It fuels discipline, ignites passion, and brings order to chaos. When you live with vision, you stop wandering and start walking with intention. Some people are waiting for the perfect conditions before they act. They want the right time, the right support, the right level of certainty, but vision doesn't wait. It initiates, it dares to move, even when nothing around you says go. Vision challenges you to build what doesn't yet exist and become who you are always meant to be, even if no one else sees it yet. Because vision is personal. It's not something you borrow from others. It is something born deep within you, planted like a seed by a sense that there is more. More to see, more to do, more to become. This isn't about chasing fantasies or wishful thinking. It's about aligning your life with a future that has purpose. It's about refusing to let circumstances shrink your dreams. Because when you truly begin to see beyond the present, you discover that your life was never meant to be defined by what is, but by what is possible. Many people live their entire lives never realizing they were meant for more. Not because they lack potential, but because they lack vision. The problem is not a shortage of talent, ideas, or even resources. It's a shortage of clear direction. A life without vision is like a ship without a compass, moving, perhaps, but with no destination in sight. The result is a generation overwhelmed by activity, but underwhelmed by purpose. We are surrounded by motion, but very little movement towards something that truly matters. One of the greatest tragedies is to be successful in the wrong assignment, to achieve goals that were never aligned with your purpose, to reach milestones that have nothing to do with your calling. People go to school, get jobs, build businesses, start families, but still feel lost. They meet expectations, hit targets, and collect accolades, yet wonder why they still feel empty. That is the silent crisis of living without vision. Without a picture of the future pulling you forward, life becomes mechanical. You wake up, go through the motions, repeat the cycle, and call it living. We've been conditioned to prioritize what's urgent over what's important. We're trained to survive instead of seeing. We let bills, opinions, and pressures dictate our decisions while our deeper calling grows quiet under the noise. Many don't realize how dangerous it is to live only in response to the present moment. When your life is guided only by what's happening around you, you'll end up shaped by your environment instead of your assignment. That's how dreams die, not in one dramatic moment, but slowly over time, in the absence of vision. Another challenge is fear. The fear of stepping into the unknown, the fear of being misunderstood, failing, or leaving the familiar behind. Vision requires courage. It demands that you look beyond where you are and walk towards something you may not fully understand yet. And that's uncomfortable. So people, stay where it's safe, even if it's unfulfilling. But comfort is the enemy of growth, and survival is not the same as success. Until you get a vision for your life, you will keep circling the same mountain, repeating the same cycles, and wondering why nothing ever changes. This isn't just a problem, it's a warning. Without vision, you risk wasting your life doing things that don't matter, going places that don't fulfill you, and becoming someone you were never meant to be. Vision is not something you stumble upon by accident. It is something you cultivate with intention. It begins with asking deeper questions. Why am I here? What am I meant to do? What do I see beyond my current circumstances? Vision is born when you allow yourself to dream without the restrictions of your current reality. It's when you stop asking what is possible based on what you have and start asking what is necessary based on who you are called to become. Real vision gives your life structure. It becomes the blueprint by which you make decisions. When you have vision, you stop saying yes to everything. You begin to recognize what aligns with your purpose and what is simply a distraction. Discipline becomes easier, not because you have superhuman willpower, but because you have clarity. You know where you're going. And that makes saying no to certain things a natural choice, not a painful sacrifice. Vision also ignites endurance. When you can see beyond the present struggle, you're less likely to give up in the middle of it. You realize that every challenge is part of the process, not the end of your story. Vision turns obstacles into stepping stones. You begin to understand that pain has purpose, and every setback can become a setup for what's next. When the picture in your heart is stronger than the pressure in your life, you keep moving forward. There's also something contagious about vision. When you walk with clarity, others begin to take notice. People are drawn to those who know where they're going. Vision doesn't just benefit you, it influences those around you. Your life becomes a signal, a kind of lighthouse for others trying to find their own way. But vision also evolves. What you see now may only be a piece of the full picture. As you grow, your understanding of your purpose deepens. Vision is not a one-time revelation. It is a living, breathing guide that expands as you do. This is why reflection, prayer, silence, and time in solitude are so important. They help you tune out the noise and tune in to what truly matters. Ultimately, vision is the difference between wandering and walking with intention. It's what shifts you from reacting to life to creating a life worth living. And once you truly see it, once it's alive inside you, it changes everything. There comes a moment when something shifts inside you, a moment when you stop seeing your current situation as permanent and begin to realize it's only temporary. That moment is powerful. It's when you finally understand that where you are now is not the full picture of who you are meant to become. Something awakens inside of you, and it changes how you see everything. You stop waiting for life to give you permission, and you start walking in the direction of your purpose, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. This moment doesn't always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's birthed in the middle of frustration, loss, or disappointment. But suddenly there's clarity. You see something in your mind, in your spirit, that's more real than what's around you. You start to believe that your life has meaning beyond the routine, beyond the setbacks, beyond what you were told was possible. You no longer settle for just making it through the day. You begin to live for something greater. Everything up to this point has prepared you for that realization. Every closed door, every delay, every unanswered question, it all had purpose, because vision is often refined in difficulty. The pressure you faced didn't come to break you. It came to sharpen your focus. And when you catch a glimpse of what could be, when you really see it, you cannot go back to life as usual. Your habits shift. Your conversations change. Your energy is directed differently. You stop chasing approval and start pursuing alignment. That is the moment vision becomes more than a concept. It becomes your compass. You may not have all the answers, but you have direction. You may not have all the resources, but you have resolve. You may not know the full plan, but you know the next step, and that's enough to move. And once your internal picture of the future becomes clearer than your present limitations, nothing can hold you back. The excuses that used to control you lose their grip. Fear begins to shrink, doubt begins to fade, because now you're no longer driven by survival. You're pulled by destiny. You've seen something. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. That's the turning point. That's when ordinary life transforms into a purposeful journey. That's when vision takes over. Vision is the invisible thread that weaves purpose into every part of our lives. It is the force that transforms mere existence into meaningful living. Without vision, life can feel like a series of random events, a constant struggle to keep up with the demands of the present. But with vision, every step, every decision, and every challenge takes on new significance. Vision gives you a destination to aim for, a reason to endure, and a reason to grow. It is important to recognize that vision is not about perfection or having everything figured out. It is about having a clear enough picture of the future to guide you through uncertainty. It's about having something worth striving for when circumstances feel difficult and distractions are everywhere. Vision is the steady light that shines through the fog of confusion, providing direction when the path ahead seems unclear. The power of vision lies in its ability to change how you relate to the present. Instead of being overwhelmed by obstacles, you begin to see them as temporary tests, lessons that prepare you for what lies ahead. Instead of feeling stuck or defeated, you feel motivated to keep moving forward because you know the present moment is not your final story. Vision invites patience and resilience because it reminds you that growth and progress often happen in seasons, not in a day. Vision also helps you prioritize. It gives you clarity on what matters most and what doesn't deserve your time or energy. When you live guided by vision, you stop being pulled in every direction. You focus your energy on what aligns with your purpose, and you let go of distractions that don't serve your ultimate goals. This focus creates momentum. Momentum fuels progress. Progress builds confidence, and confidence propels you toward the future you've imagined. Ultimately, vision is a gift you give yourself. It is the invitation to believe in something greater than your current circumstances. It is the permission to dream boldly and the courage to act on those dreams. When you embrace vision, you move from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in your own story. Remember, your life is not defined by where you are today, but by where you are going. The power to see beyond the present is the power to shape your future. Hold on to that power, protect it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Because when you live with vision, you live with purpose, and that makes all the difference. Right now, you have a choice to make. You can continue to let the present define your limits, or you can start seeing beyond what is into what could be. The power to change your life begins with your willingness to embrace vision, to see clearly the future you want and commit yourself to it, no matter the obstacles. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, to let the noise of the world drown out your dreams. But the truth is, your future depends on the clarity of your vision today. So here's the challenge. Take a moment to ask yourself, what do I really see for my life? What is the image, the feeling, the purpose that stirs my heart when I think about what's possible? Don't rush this. Let your mind and spirit wander freely. Imagine the life you want to live if fear, doubt, and limitations didn't exist. Write it down, speak it out loud. Make it real. Once you have a clear vision, protect it fiercely. Vision is fragile when it's new. It needs your belief, your focus, and your energy to grow. Guard it from negativity and distractions. Surround yourself with people who encourage your dreams, not those who tell you why it won't work. Discipline yourself to take consistent steps, even small ones, toward what you see. Remember, progress over perfection. You don't need all the answers or resources to begin. The key is to start moving in the direction of your vision. Trust that clarity will come as you walk, and that each step, even if imperfect, brings you closer to your destiny. When setbacks come, and they will, remind yourself why you started. Let your vision be bigger than your fears. Now is the time to stop waiting for the right moment or perfect conditions. The right time is now. Your vision is your compass, your roadmap, and your motivation. It is the force that will pull you through challenges and propel you into the life you were designed to live. Stand up, look ahead, see beyond the present, and take that first step. Your future is waiting. Go claim it.